We're excited right now because I have the Director of Thought Leadership at Cisco. We're talking about one of the top companies in the country, Mr. Thomas Barnett. Good morning and thank you for joining us on Morning Coffee.
It's my pleasure, Mark, and that's the best introduction I've had today. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome because, look, I think a lot of people aren't going to understand necessarily what we talk about until we explain it to them. But what you do is so important that people really do need to know about it.
Well, thanks so much. Yeah, for the past 11 years at Cisco, we've been looking at internet traffic growth, and it largely came out of our own need to understand how people were using the internet and what our customers needed. And so we look at the growth and trends and how people are using the internet, what service providers need to do to give us better experiences, and then what we as consumers can expect.
Well, it's always kind of, it changes so fast. I mean, the technology is out one day and then, they say that the next day it's obsolete. So, we hear all of these different things about trends and what's going to happen to our cars. They're going to start driving themselves. So tell me about the connectivity. I know Cisco, look, you guys have been the leaders, Cisco Systems. I mean, we're not talking about anybody but the best here. How are you guys approaching this need for constant connectivity?
Yeah, two of the key trends that we've seen. One is mobility. So over two-thirds of all the internet traffic that we see by 2020 are actually going to come from Wi-Fi and cellular connections. So that's really telling us that we need to look at our mobile infrastructure and how we update that. And then from a device perspective, historically, Mark, most traffic has come from PCs. And so from business use and personal use, the PC has been the dominant sort of traffic driver. By 2020, 30% of all internet traffic will come from our smartphones. Our smartphones are really becoming communications hubs. And PC traffic will be down to 29%. So we see a shift in how we're using devices. And by the way, more things are being connected, and I can talk about that a little bit more as well.
Yeah. So what does that shift look like? Over the last 10 years or so. I mean, this is stuff that you study. So, like, what's the percentage right now? PC still heavier traffic than the smartphone, but we're seeing a total flip that the devices that people have in their hands will be the dominant traffic in the next 5-6 years.
Absolutely. Today, or at the beginning of our forecast period now, it goes from 2015 to 2020. So in 2015, PCs were responsible for 53% of total internet traffic.
Right.
And it'll go down to 29% by 2020. So big shifts there.
Yeah, these are huge. These are like tectonic plates moving. Right? I mean, honestly.
Shifts, absolutely.
Yeah, so, when you talk about that type of shift, though, you're talking about the need to stay connected. So is there some sort of national Wi-Fi system or how are we, that Wi-Fi, everybody talks about, oh, can I get on the Wi-Fi? Is there Wi-Fi? Where's the Wi-Fi, right? They're always looking for that fastest, best connection. Is there any sort of talk about a national Wi-Fi network?
I wouldn't say so. In the United States, we certainly have the FCC and other regulatory and standards bodies that are looking at this. I'm not aware of any sort of national Wi-Fi activity.
Right.
But at the private level, we are seeing phenomenal growth in Wi-Fi. So today, globally, there's about 64 million Wi-Fi hotspots and home spots. That's going to grow sevenfold over the next 5 years to over 430 million hotspots. Many of those, the largest number, are going to be in China, which is not surprising given their population and the size of that country.
Right.
But we'll see significant growth there. And the other thing, obviously, that we have on the horizon, we don't see it happening in large scale until 2020, are 5G networks. So 5G will really help us be able to connect not only our smartphones, tablets, and PCs from a mobile perspective, but a lot of these things much more dynamic and much faster than even the 4G networks that we're using today.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's going to get even faster. So just to reset real quick, I'm talking to Thomas Barnett, who's the Director of Thought Leadership over at Cisco, and he's also the lead analyst on VNI, which is the Visual Networking Index. Thomas, explain that to everybody. The Visual Networking Index, what is it?
Sure. Well, we look at traffic growth, so we look at how fast are things moving. Essentially, it's a top-down and bottoms-up forecast. So we look at how many things are connected, how many people are connecting, how fast are the networks that they're using, and what they're doing on the network. The reason we call it the Visual Networking Index is even 10 years ago when we started doing it, we realized that most of the services and applications that were driving the majority of the traffic were multimedia or video. Hence, we went with the term visual.
Right.
So VNI has been something we've done. This is actually the 11th annual update, and we do it on an annual basis every year around the June timeframe.
Yeah, well, I mean, as everything changes, as our technology changes, as our connectivity changes, as the speeds change, we need guys like you to kind of keep an eye on things and make sure that everything is changing in the right way.
Well, believe me, I am joined by a number of others, so my immediate team is full of analysts who, frankly, are much smarter than me. But there are our competitors as well are looking at this. So consumers and other people interested in the internet and the industry in general have really a good number of sources that they can go to. But we really try to focus on accuracy. Over the past 11 years, Mark, our forecast has actually been within 5 to 10 points of accuracy of our top-line figures. So quality and making sure you can believe our numbers is really paramount to us.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys do enough research and you put enough into it to make sure that your numbers are accurate. And that's an important factor because, look, we've got, with all this expanded connectivity and people are going to be able to be doing so much more, we're going to be having so much more traffic, right? There's going to be more bandwidth used. There's going to be more data transmitted. Thomas, does this lead to any security issues, or are the companies on top of that as much as the connectivity is growing?
Well, there are absolutely security issues, Mark. And for the first time this year, we actually looked at security as part of our forecast. We partnered with a company that provides some of our security solutions embedded within Cisco routers and switches, a company named Barnett. Essentially, what we found is that the attacks are happening essentially at the same rate of traffic growth. Denial of service attacks, or DDoS, what we call them, they can actually be 10% of a country's monthly traffic. And a lot of it is happening through online gaming. So we need more secure internet servers. We need more secure software and preventive measures to stop a lot of these. And really one of the key aspects that we're finding is you think about some of these cyber crimes as being someone in a basement hacking into something. A lot of these are government-funded, really concerted, consolidated efforts to hack into public and private networks. So there's a lot of work that we have to do there, but there are firms like Cisco and many others, our partner Barnett, that are actively working on that on a daily basis.
Well, what I know is that these hackers, they're really smart guys, but on our team are the smarter guys like you, making sure that these guys don't disrupt, the general flow of things. Thomas, this has been awesome. I've really enjoyed spending a few minutes with you, but listen, if any of my viewers or listeners have, if they have questions and they want more information, where should they go?
Please visit cisco.com/go/BNI. There they can find our complete report. They can find online tools that help them break this down in whatever region or part of the world they're interested in seeing the data. And they can send questions to me and my team. We'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, I urge everybody to do that because this is fascinating stuff. And you know what? It's important stuff because really, Thomas, it's stuff that people use every day.
Yes. I mean, a day without the internet for some is like a day without sunshine. So
Yeah.
I think we really have come to rely and depend on the network. And the network should be what we want it to be. We control it. We build it. So look forward to hearing from your listeners if they choose to come to our site.
Yeah, throw me that website again one more time.
Cisco.com/go/BNI.
His name is Thomas Barnett. He is the Director of Thought Leadership over at Cisco, and I thank him so much for spending a few minutes with us this morning.
It's been my extreme pleasure to be on your show. Thanks so much, Mark.
You're quite welcome. Have a great day. We
All
got
right,
to
take care.
we got to take a quick break here on Morning Coffee, but we will be right back. Stick around on the Radio Vision Network.